What's happening, Wisdom Warriors Live? Back at it for another video. How y'all doing, man? Happy Sunday. I'm at a different section of the water. I'm gonna give you a little view here of what I'm viewing. It's really nice day. I decided to park way back here because, it's kind of shady and, you get kind of a view of everything, as you can see. If I can go up a little bit higher, I can catch the view of the water like I can. But then you got little people golfing over there way across on the other side, and there's some park benches, and there's a gentleman sitting on his foldable chair. And then, there's like a view of, I always show you guys, but way up on top of that hill, that's usually where I park. Way up there. And it's kind of a lookout point. They call it like, a lookout. So you can park way up there, and I don't know if you can see, there's cars parked up at the top of that hill, and you overlook all the water, from up there. But this time I just decided to come over here and record a video, man, because I got some shit to talk to you all about. And yesterday, the way that I've now been recording videos has given me a lot more time to kind of reflect and think about, connect to my higher self, and kind of essentially get downloads, and more downloads than I normally get. And I've essentially it's interesting because I go through these phases, and I started to notice myself joining all these different channelers and communities, and I was seeking outside of myself more and more to get guidance and information. At the same time, I was getting my own guidance, which always happens. We all get that. We all get the downloads. We just don't listen. We just don't slow down enough. We don't pay attention enough. We aren't present, like I spoke about on a video that I just released recently. And I'm driving around, and I had to do a couple things this morning before getting here to the lake or the water. And I had some time to think, and just while I'm sitting in traffic or at a light, I literally realized, man, people don't even give themselves a second to have quiet time or silence. I'm sitting at a light, and you could hear the music on in the car blaring with somebody in their car. And I'm not judging anybody, man. But the way things have been designed in a way that we don't get a moment to hear our thoughts, to listen to our body, to listen to what we just are like, oh man, I got a headache. Oh man, my back is bothering me. Let me go to this, get an adjustment. Granted, I've done that, many times, and you have to listen to your body. And there's many times when we need to assist the body, and we're living in a chaotic world, man. We need to, essentially, pay attention to, our bodies and what they're telling us and how they're guiding us. And, I can tell you that, the way things have been designed is we don't even give ourselves a chance to do that. We stuff ourselves with distractions and addictions and food and music and noise and calling this person and calling that person. When do you have a moment or a chance to just listen to the birds chirping, or even to just listen to your thoughts. A lot of people have been so conditioned and so scared to even listen to their thoughts, you know, to be alone, they're afraid to be alone. And you know, and I'm not saying anything, I'm not judging anyone. I've gone through a hell of a ride myself. You know, I've dealt with having to let go of codependency and all kinds of different things, you know, that, you know, has been a, you know, a lineage thing or ancestral, you know, for me. And, you know, I am not going to pretend to act like that's not the case, you know, for me, because it has been. And I've had to release so much, and so much recently. It's interesting because I was just we were doing practice sessions with light language, and you know, with these outside partners and in-class partners, and it was very, very interesting as to what came up when I was having it done on me, and then what I was doing on them, and to find out why we were matched as partners. And interestingly enough, I was told by my guides and higher self from her, that I was going through a cleansing internally and externally. And it was like they were taking a hose and washing my insides and my outside, my aura, you know, and cleansing the masculine and feminine. And what I got in that connection was the balance of the masculine and feminine, you know. And these are the things that we get the opportunity to receive, and guidance, and being shown what's next and where to go next and what to do next when we have the time to listen. If we have headphones in our ears all the time, if we're on the phone with someone, if we're constantly distracted and moving and going and never stopping, like with a chicken with our head cut off, how do you expect to get guidance and information? You know, and that's most of humanity. And when I say, you know, I'm not saying it from a place of separation, because we're all one and we're all connected and we all play a role in this. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm holy thou, you know, better than anyone else, because I'm not. We are all one and we are all connected, and we are all here on this journey together, walking each other home, and just breaking each other's hearts, cracking our hearts open more and more, so we can feel everything with the wars and everything that's going on, that you can emotionally feel it, because a lot of humanity is numbed out and they don't hear anything, they don't feel anything, they're numb. We all are numb. I'm not, as I said, I'm not exempt from anything, man. We are all connected and we are all one at the end of the day. And we all come from the same place, whether you want to believe it or not. Everyone has been divided. The divide and separation is internal, is within us, you know, and that's where we have to look within and say, where am I separate? Where am I looking at things from this perception of divide? How am I looking at things? How do I need to show up in the world? What do I need to change to create change in the world, in my own life, you know? And I want to give an example of something that I observed today when I, on my journey in the external to a few different places that I needed to go. And it reminded me, because I just saw two people smoking cigarettes, you know, in front of me at the water. You know, there's a couple people there, and it reminded me of this situation that I observed, you know, earlier this morning. And there was this gentleman that had a Camaro. It was a blue Camaro. It was pretty tricked out. I mean, it had 4 exhaust pipes, and you know, it was really whatever you want to call it, you know. And so I see this guy get out. He's a younger cat, you know, and I see him get out of the car, and he proceeded to like walk around to the passenger side, and before he did that, he shut his door and he lit up a cigarette, and you know, he's puffing away, and as he got to the passenger side, he opened the door. He stretched his arm. I don't know if I can, let me see if I can try to show you. He went like this with his arm that had the cigarette in it, and he kept it away from the car while the door was open. As he reached in and got inside the car, but didn't sit in it, he just bent over and went inside of it to get golf clubs out, because he was going to this golf tech store. That's the name of the store, I guess. I don't know. I assume they repair golf clubs or something like that. I really don't know, but I'm assuming by the name. I'm sure someone out there knows. If you want, you could drop it in the comments. It really doesn't matter. It's kind of, you know, pointless, really. It's just part of the story. So he's like reaching out, you know, holding the cigarette away from his inside of his car, and right away, what came to mind right away was this man actually values his car more than his self, because he's willing to inhale this toxic smoke into his lungs that has immense poison in it. And I'm going to tell you right now, I smoked for over 20 years, so I'm not one to sit here and be holier thou than anyone else. And I just want you to know that, because I talked about it. There's over 500 videos on the channel, and I've talked about addictions. I've gone through every addiction you can think of. Okay? I've gone through every addiction you can think of. So I'm not exempt from any of it. But I actually smoked in the car. I didn't really care. But he actually values his car more than he values his temple, his body. You know, and it was just, it's not funny. It's actually really sad. But it's like, that just shows us where collective consciousness is at some point, like part of our consciousness. You know, that we're willing to value material things more than we value ourselves, and to see somebody actually stretch their arm out away from the car so that the smoke didn't get inside of his car. He was avoiding to get the smoke in the car, but yet he wasn't avoiding to get it to inhale it in his body and poison his body and his lungs. But yet you valued your car more than you valued yourself. And I could not believe that was the case. But then again, I've seen people, and there was cars when I used to smoke that I had that I didn't smoke inside the car, but then eventually I did, and eventually I just didn't care anymore. And so, you know, I'm not going to say that I wasn't one of those people. I think I do remember times when I did that. So, you know, it's just interesting to see it from the other side, and see someone actually doing it, that and to realize and get the download that it's mind-blowing how they value their car more than their body, you know. And so, you know, I think this has to be real. This video has to be harsh, this video, because we have to start changing. We really, really have to start observing what we're doing, what we're putting in our body, how we're moving in the world. Because every move that we make, we are impacting the world in some way. We're sending vibrations out to the ether, to the galaxy, to the universe, to the earth. Whatever we do, we're making massive impact. And if you just think that you're not, like, oh, it doesn't matter what I do, I'm not impacting anyone else, I'm sitting in my car doing whatever, drugs, smoking, drinking, getting trash, whatever, putting garbage food in my body, whatever the case may be, I'm keeping to myself, so I'm not impacting anyone. But you have to remember that you are not separate. You are not alone here. We are all together. We are all one. We are all connected. And that's what I'm here to remind you of, that you're not separate, and you're a spiritual being. Remember this: you are a spiritual being living a human experience. At the end of the day, you are a spiritual being. You're not, like when you leave here and you pass away, the body will transform into something else, just like you will transform into something else, but you go on as spirit. And my hope is that I can remind you of that. My hope is that I can remind you to look at what you're doing and how you're moving in the world, what you're putting in your body, what you're doing on a daily basis. Every move you make makes a massive impact on this earth and in the galaxies and the ethers and beyond. And my hope is that I can remind you of that I can remind you that you are not separate. And that when you do the work within, you're changing the world. When you heal within, you're healing the world. You're making a massive impact. You have a purpose, like we all do. And my hope is that you realize this, and that maybe this video that you watch will remind you of that. And it will help you to remember who you are, a spiritual being at the end of the day. So, I know that these videos are going to get tougher because we can't keep going like this. These bodies are our vessel, man. We have to take care of it. We have to assist the body. The body is always trying to heal, but we have to assist in the healing process. We have to detox. We have to cleanse. We have to put good, vibrant, high vibe food in our body if you want to have a high vibration, if you want to have good thoughts, if you want to put good things out into the world. You have to give love to your body. You have to love yourself. You have to love everything about you, because you came from love. You are love. So, I hope this message reminds you of who you are, reminds you that you are this strong, powerful, you are worthy, you are amazing, you are love, and you could do anything you want to do, and that your soul, your higher self, is leading you and guiding you every step of the way. And you're co-creating with the universe. Your soul is your higher self, which is at the helm. The ego's not. It's the higher self. When at the end of the day, when you go deep within, strip the ego away, which the ego can be very helpful in a lot of ways, but if you stripped it away, you're just love, and the soul doesn't believe in separation and divide. So again, I hope that I can remind you of who you are, that you are courageous, you are confident, you are powerful, you are amazing, man, that you're being guided in every possible way, that nothing is a freaking accident. Everything is meant to be. I love you all, man. I hope, again, that I can remind you of who you are, and that you take that away with this video. Take care of yourselves, all of you. I love you. Get yourselves out in nature. See the beauty all around us, man. Start putting good, positive vibes into the universe of what you want to see, not what you don't want to see. Remember that. Put out what you want to see, how you want things to be in the world. That's what we need to do, not put out what we don't want. I love you all, man. Take care of yourselves and each other. Until the next video, from my heart to yours, spread love around the world. We got this, you all. We are courageous warriors of light. Take care of yourself and each other, from my heart to yours. Please like, subscribe, share, and comment. I love you all. I will see you in the next one. Take care of yourselves and each other. Let's go, Wisdom Warriors of Light. We got this.